Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Sousou no Frieren, episode number 10 reaction. Okay, the previous episode, it was the battle between Lugner, Linia, I think that was her name, or Linia, and versus Fern and Stark. So the whole battle was obviously we got to see how Lugner and also Lena as well were underestimating uh, Fern and Stark, and Lugner had his whole pettiness where he wanted to just get back at Fern because she apparently humiliated him. So it was like a pettiness working within him, which is why he immediately didn't try to kill Fern. He tried to kind of tried to kind of show off to her that, oh, look at me, how strong I am, which became the reason for his downfall in the end, as we get to see. And that was a fantastic battle. Like it was shown really well. Both sides, both starts, battle, while over their fence battle, and obviously the first one to defeat the one of the demons was Stark, who defeats the girl, and getting distracted by that, Lugner also gets defeated immediately by Fer. While all of this is happening, over there, Frieren is getting ready to face Aura. Or Aura, that was her name? Yeah, I think. And we get a little bit of explanation as to how Aura fights by, making other people like her captive, like that whole thing. So yeah, I'm guessing this episode will get to see the actual battle between Frieren and Aura. Frieren had already defeated Aura before. I'm sure she can do it again. So let's see how that happens. So let us begin. This is episode number 10. So yeah, I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it whichever is a preference. And let's begin. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, let's see. Damn, the animation. The soil animation. Bruh. Okay, it's a flashback. What? Puzzled. Oh, demons. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, dirtying your own hands for the greater good. That's what she's saying. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Powerful mage. Oh, whoa. What happened, bro? I What? She's the one who defeated her before. Okay, you're heavily underestimating her, I feel like. Ah, okay. No, I feel like she engaged you directly because like you guys weren't a threat to her. But for actual threat, true. Like you just heavily underestimated her based on raw without exhausting her mana. What? Okay, what? Right, I wonder what. Okay, even Frieren was talking about this in the flashback. Like, Elf Village. Oh, wait, is this where she found Frieren for the first time or something? That'll be interesting. Huh. Oh, there she is. Hmm. Oh, that's crazy. But you saw like their auras. Like Frieren was way more than her. Hmm. I can see why Frieren like most of the time tries to like like get out of a difficult situation. Flame influenced her. Hmm. Oh, wait, what? Okay, that's bad. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. So why don't we do it as well? Oh. Oh, really? Well, you'll kill her either way. That means. Hmm. Overconfident. Whoa! Wait, was that it? What? Oh! Ah. That means they are. Yeah. Oh, there you go. That answers my question. I was like, Frieren has so much mana, but oh, there you go. Also, wait, so did. Oh! Frieren also does that, that means. So Aura and Lugner had no clue how strong she was. That's why they underestimated her. And Aura still doesn't know it. Aura is still underestimating her. Frieren hides her magical power. And that's how she tricks everyone. Not everyone, but the. And Frieren also does the same thing. That's what Lugner understood in the end. And that's why Lugner was like, oh, you guys, like, are disgusting or something like that. Okay, I'll talk about this later. It also makes sense why Lugner condemned her for. Wow. There you go. 1/10. Good God, so her power can go 10 more times. It makes sense why Lugner condemned Fern, because Lugner and the demons, they are so confident that they think it's disgusting to hide the power level. Forever, I'm guessing, from here onwards. Yep. Wow. So Aura has no clue that her power can grow 10 times stronger. Bro, you have no idea who you're dealing with now. Well, about that. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Over 500 years. Frieren probably lived way more than that. Like she like lived for thousands of years, so yeah. Because they're overconfident, they're prideful. She's like, alright, let me take my limiter off. Okay. They're overconfident, they're prideful. They'll never do that. Or they can't, wait, or they won't. Bear's gonna have. Ah, power. And power. Ah, true. Yeah, but he might not be strong, but he's, like important. Hmm. Yeah, they Hmm. Hmm. I see. Okay. Yeah, but they'll never do it forever or yeah. Hmm. Wow. Yeah, and that's why they never do it. They're desperate to show off the mana. Yep. Yeah, and that makes it easier to gauge who's strong and who's weaker. Wow. That's yeah. Damn. Oh, she's like diminished it so much. Wow. Wait. Oh, that's it's been a long time, obviously. Somewhat. Hmm. Only 50 years ago. Yeah, but then Himmel and the others comes and teaches her more important things, you know. Hmm. Hmm. And yeah. Hmm. And that's why now, after the Demon King's defeat, few people knows her, but she still lives in obscurity. Like, you know, a lot of people doesn't recognize her, or they don't understand how an like someone they don't have the capacity to realize that an elf, you know, can live so long. That's why nobody really guesses that this is the Frieren. She kept continuing to. I wonder. I'm guessing after this, they probably probably meets Himmel and the others. Oh, what? Okay. This anime. It seems such a good like theme for like a JRPG. Not theme, but what do you call it? Like an idea. Oh, there they are. Is this where they'll meet? Hmm. Yeah. Ooh, there you go. He recognized. Oh, then all that happened. Okay, you're in for a shock. Okay, come on. It's gonna be okay. This is actually exciting. It's going to be put on the scales now, and then the true nature will be unleashed. Hmm. He's just unknown. Oh, there we go. Yeah, you can see it clearly. Okay. 100 years. All right, we'll see, bro. Yeah. No, she all right. Here we go, bro. Why are you holding the sword like that? Yeah. All right, Frieren, take out the limiter. She's still suppressing her mana. That's why it's kind of like, like still not going down. Yeah, you. She's like, wait a minute. Hmm. Yeah, you came close to me. Now I can slice your head off. You know. She's like, wait, what? What did she do? Yeah. Well, yep. She's sweating. She's like, wait, what? What did she say? Pointless. Yeah, just for this, like this. What's happening now? Just for this. She's like, oh wait, I made a mistake. That's very okay. How long? Probably more than 1,000 years. Yep, there you go. When she said that 100 years is like less than 1/10 of her lifespan, that is crazy amount of mana. It's enveloping Aura's mana as well. The scale is probably going to drop, like break. Ah, yes. Bro. Oh my god. The way she said that. Okay, that was crazy. The way she said, the way she said that. Oh my god. Oh. Okay, that was. Oh my god, bro. Uh, the way she said that, she didn't even look at her. She just turned around and she's like, you know, unalive yourself in that hole. That's it. Oh my god. Good god. Okay. Okay, that is it. Okay, that was the best episode. Out of all the episodes, that was the best episode. Good god. Oh my god. You know what? I love the build up to the whole thing. The way they build up the whole thing to the conclusion. That was probably one of the best build ups to something I've ever seen. Like that was flawless. Like we like literally went through everything. Like most of the situation that Frieren went through throughout her life, the whole her meeting with Flamme, everything, her meeting with the heroes, everything. Like we little by little we went through with and in the end we come to that part where the fruits of a labor, we get to see the true essence of the fruits of her labor up until now. 1,000 years of suppressing her mana. And yeah, and this is the thing. One thing obviously I need to talk about here is when Lugner realizes what has happened. At first, I was like, "Wait, what? Like, why is he so mad?" When she was like, "Oh, as a mage, you did the most despicable thing." I was like, "Wait, what did they do?" Like, I was thinking of like maybe they did some kind of a like taboo or something like some kind of forbidden. I don't know, like something they did, and that's why maybe they are like somehow this strong. I was thinking of all that, but now obviously after realizing what Lugna was talking about, I'm like, oh, that's all they did, and that is why you were so pissed off about it. Because obviously as humans, obviously nobody really cares that much about how much mana the other person has. But demons in this situation, as it gets established in this episode, when Flamme tells Frieren about everything, about how demons work and how their hierarchy goes, we get to know that hiding one's mana is the last thing that someone should do. Not someone, sorry, that a demon would do. Because that's literally like the identification thing. Like, oh, you're this strong? Okay, you belong here. You're this strong? Oh, you belong there. That kind of thing. So in no way will the demons ever think of hiding their mana. For them, it's something crazy, unbelievable, like it's just weird. It goes against their way of living. That's literally what it is. So so that is why he was so pissed off. Lugner was so pissed off. Lugner was like, "You did something like that? That is unbelievable. It's like it's the worst thing that you could have done as a mage." That's why he was so pissed. I was thinking when he was saying all of this, I was thinking like, why is he so pissed? Like, did they do something bad, like some kind of forbidden magic or something? I was thinking of all of that stuff. All they did was just suppress their mana, and Lugner got so triggered at that. He was like, "How could you?" Because yeah, there you go. That's why. And not only that, demons, as we get to see, demons are creatures who are extremely prideful. They are very prideful, and like they very confident, overconfident, and someone like them would never suppress their own mana. Like they try to boast about their mana and their strength. They will suppress their mana? Obviously not. That's never going to happen. And I love the whole parallel that they drew here, where Flamme told Frieren here that just like how demons deceive you with like like words and lies, you deceive the demons with um um with your mana. Yeah, you deceive the demons with your mana. And that whole like parallel was like crazy good, like, and that's what Frieren has been doing up until now. That's why literally nobody knows how strong she is. And Fern knows it. Fern knows it because Fern is also suppressing her mana. That's what, at least that's what I understood in the end. Because Lugner, looking at Fern, she was like, wait a minute, the fact that you have this amount of mana and you're still like, it's in exhausting, like it's not exhausting, that means you did that, didn't you? Which obviously insinuates that she was also suppressing her mana. So up until now, how, like, the level that we thought Friend was in was, she was like dampening it, she was hiding it. So up until now, what we have seen of Fern and how strong she is, she's way stronger than that. She has been hiding it up until now. And that's what it was established in this episode, because like Lugner was like, oh, so you were also doing that. And that's why he got so pissed. So obviously, if like Fern wasn't suppressing her mana, Lugner probably would have dipped. I'm sure that's what he would have done. In no way, like seeing that amount of mana that Fern probably had, he would have stayed there. He probably would have realized that, oh, she's way too strong than me. Let me try something else. And he might try to do something else and try to think of a different plan. And yeah, so Fern also tricked a demon and defeated them. And yeah, that's how it happened. So that was great. And okay, what else? Just a minute. Oh, also the backstory of Frieren, as we get to see. And as Flamme said, when Frieren, when her village was attacked and all that stuff happened, the first thing that Flamme said is like, oh, you're this strong. However, why do you fight people as strong as you? Why do you guys fight like directly? It would have been so much easier if you ran, hid, and then fought like that. And I'm guessing, obviously, Frieren at that time wasn't hiding her mana. So since she didn't hide her mana, I'm pretty sure, that guy, who was that? That demon that that was like sprawled down dead. What was his name? I don't remember. That demon probably, after seeing Frieren's mana level, that demon probably gave a good fight against Frieren. So this is what what can I say, what Frieren does now is so much more smart. That's literally what Flamme taught her, that play smart, do not show out your all cards at the beginning, keep a few hidden, and people will underestimate you because of that, and then you can bring it out. So that is why now the way Frieren does it is so much more smarter, unlike obviously before, where she just kept her mana outside, everyone used to look at her mana and recognize how strong she is, and it would make it easier for the demons to pick pick demons who are of a similar level to Frieren and send them to fight her or something like that, I'm guessing. And that is why that happened. If Frieren hid her mana from the beginning, this whole situation probably never would have happened, because I think in this episode, Frieren, there was a section where Frieren said that the demons are actually trying to hunt me down. Is because of her mana, isn't it? How strong she is. That's probably why the demon lord was like, oh, there's this elf girl in this village whose mana is crazy. Kill her before she goes stronger. And that's why probably they sent everyone, and the village got attacked. And that's what happened there. So if Frieren suppressed her mana from the beginning, maybe none of this would have happened. But obviously she didn't know any better at that point of time. She didn't know how this thing is going to play out. So yeah, obviously she like never suppressed her mana, and she didn't even know that you should do that. Flamme comes in and Flamme tells her that yeah, this is how you should have done. Trick like your enemies, so that like you can trick them like so that they can like they lower their guard against you, and that kind of thing. And another thing she had told her is like live in obscurity, unless until the demon lord goes down. And even after the demon lord is down, she still lives in obscurity. She doesn't really show herself outside in front of the people and everything. That is the reason why, because it's like a habit. She doesn't really want to stand out that much, even though the demon lord is dead. And another thing obviously we get to know here is that nothing that major, but the reason why Frieren always tries to kind of sidestep away from stuff is because of Flamme's influence. This is how she had like I would say like she this is how she, I was going to say trained her, but it's train is a not an appropriate word to say in this situation. Not trained, but this is how she like rubbed off on her, I guess you could say that. And that's why like Frieren always tries to stay in obscurity, tries to like sidestep away from like difficult situations and stuff. That is why, like because she wants to like lay low always. It's like her habit completely now. And that is why all the demons, they underestimate her. What's funny now that I'm thinking about it? The fact that, there's this one demon, you remember in the first few episodes, the demon was sealed and Frieren comes and Frieren is like unseals him and then kills him. The fact that that demon thought that he could do something to Frieren is kind of hilarious now that I think about it, because like literally like Frieren, even with like 1/10 of her mana, didn't even struggle to and normally I think like Fern defeated her, wasn't it? Wait a minute, I'm forgetting. Was it Fern who defeated him? Yeah, Fern was the one who defeated that demon, wasn't it? Yeah. So like I'm kind of laughing now because like at that point of time like we were like, oh damn, like this is a demon that is so strong that they sealed, like, oh, this will be probably a very very difficult battle. And then Frieren just comes in, unseals him, makes him a target practice for Fern, and that's all she did. Like now that I know how strong she is, it's I'm like, yeah. that was hilarious. Like in no way, in no form would that demon win in that situation. Even if that demon was able to overpower Fern, Frieren was just there standing with 1/10 of her magic power, everything else suppressed. Crazy. So yeah, there you go. Great episode. And oh boy, the final section of oh god, Aura realizing she was like, when she was like almost near Frieren, and when Frieren starts talking about everything, she's like, wait a minute, where is this conversation going? And when she realizes what she's trying to say, she's like starts sweating and she's like, you wouldn't do that, would you? Like, why would you do that? She's trying to think, like, like, why would someone do that? She must be bluffing. But then, obviously she, in her head, she's thinking she must be bluffing, but the scale is doing this. So she's like, yeah, if she's bluffing, why is my scale kind of wobbly? it wasn't registering in her head. Like, in her head, she was like, oh, she's definitely bluffing. But she's looking at the scale and the scale is literally doing this. And she's like, yeah, if she's bluffing, why is my scale like this now? And then when she properly realizes what happened, and when Frieren's whole aura surrounds her, she is sweating and she's like, yeah, I messed with the wrong person. I love how smug she was up until that point. She was like just walking and she was like calmly like, I'm just thinking about, oh, she's definitely not that strong, like I'm way stronger. 500 years I have been alive, how long is she alive? 100 years maybe? And then that happens. The slow realization, that's crazy. And then Frieren in the end, oh my god, the way she turns around and she's like, like, yeah, she says that. It's crazy. Like, she's like, unalive yourself, that whole thing. My god. The way she like the way she says that, and the way she like turns around and says that as if she's not even worthy enough for her to see, like, like the whole situation like go down. That was actually crazy. Oh, that was a great episode. Okay, so yeah, that was this episode. Okay, let me talk about this episode now, scene by scene. In the beginning of the episode, we get a little flashback of Frieren and Flamme. Frieren asking Flamme that, is it okay to do this? Like, it's kind of unfair, isn't it? And Flamme is like, yeah, so what? They trick us with their words. We can do this thing, and she says, like, I know that this is unfair, but I'm ready to, like, take this dishonor upon myself, if the ending result is something, if the ending result is something where I can save people, or kill the demons, protect humanity, for that I'm ready to take this dishonor, and yeah, so, which is true, obviously, like, yeah, like, obviously it might seem a little bit, like a little bit cheap or unfair, but these are demons. Who cares? Like, these demons don't care about us. Why should we care? Like, yeah, that's a simple answer to this. They don't care. They trick us with their words. They always brings up out, like, out their, like, like, talks about their family, mom and dad, even though they don't have a concept of family. They literally brings that up anytime they want to, just so that they can trick us. So what we are doing, that's a very small thing, compared to that. So yeah, like, like, who the hell cares? Like, we're fighting someone who is that unfair. It's fine to be unfair ourselves, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's what, like, we get to see in the first flashback. And after that, we get to see the end of Lugner. And Lugner is like, oh, you're like, like, Frieren cannot defeat her, like, Frieren cannot defeat Aura, you might have defeated me, but she cannot do that, this and that, he's saying. And Frieren's like, it's fine, like, she'll be okay. And Lugner is like, oh, no, you don't know, like, like, she, where is it? It is true that Frieren is a threat to us, but she has far less mana than Lady Aura. And and it's like, oh yeah, is that so? Okay, then yeah, she'll definitely trick you guys and kill you. And Lugner is like, what are you even saying? Like, we have observed Frieren up until now. Like, she cannot do anything. Her mana's way lower. But then he's like, wait a minute, something's weird going on here. She has so much less mana than me, Fern, he was talking about. However, she overwhelmed me with her, like, rapid attacks. And not only that, if her mana is that low, how is she still continuing to, like, unleash her mana? It makes no sense. The fact that she was rapidly unleashing everything, means that her mana pool should be going down now. By now, it should have been over, but she's fine. And he's like, something weird, something's not, like, adding up. And then he realizes, he's like, wait a minute, did you just do that? And Fern's like, yes, I did that. That's exactly what I did. Obviously, at that point of time, I didn't realize what they were saying. I was thinking like they're talking about some kind of forbidden magic spell or something. Because the way Lugner talked about it, he was like, oh, you did that. That's like, as a mage, that's the worst thing that you could have done. Like, I felt like, wait, is he like talking about some kind of forbidden magic spell or something? That's some kind of taboo they, like, like, did or something. Like, something like that, I was thinking. But no, it turns out, and in the end, as we get to know, that they were literally just suppressing their mana. And for Lugner, that is blasphemy. Not only Lugner, for any demon. Because, that's how they live their life. That is like completely against their way of living. They live their life to flaunt, So someone suppressing their mana and making it seem as if they're weaker is something like no demons could expect. It's like goes completely against their way of living. That's why he's like, oh, you did that as a mage, like. Anyways, then we go back to a little flashback again where Flamme finds out Frieren. Okay, the general of a demon king's army, what was this guy's name? Basalt, the throne. So there you go. This guy was sent to kill Frieren. Now this is what I was saying, like, since Frieren's mana was so out, the demon lord realized she could be a threat, and that's why I sent like a person like this guy. So that's why I was saying, like, like, if Frieren met Flamme before, Flamme probably would have taught her everything and probably would have told her to suppress her mana. And if she suppressed her mana from the get-go, this wouldn't have happened. If she met Flamme a little bit earlier, this whole thing wouldn't have happened, because then the demon lord wouldn't get alerted, and like she would be suppressing her mana, so nobody would think that, oh, like, I'm pretty sure the demon lord sent the guys to kill Frieren because he thought that Frieren might be a threat to him in the future. I'm definitely sure that's what happened. So yeah, if Frieren met Flamme a little earlier, and if Frieren taught her, Flamme taught her everything, told her to suppress her mana, none of this would have happened, which is unfortunate. Obviously, that's not how it went. But either way, Flamme like sees Frieren, and looks at her mana, and she's like, oh, like, you guys, like, you're so strong, but why do you like flaunt, like why don't you suppress your magic? Try to trick the enemy. Like, that's how you should fight. And Flamme is like, oh, you strong people don't make any sense. And she was going to leave, but then Frieren is like, oh, but you're plenty strong yourself. You're way more stronger than me. And this part, I'll be honest, it kind of confused me as well. I was like, they literally showed the next scene how Frieren's magic is this big while Flamme's magic is this small, the aura. And I was like, wait, what's she talking about? Like, for a moment, I kind of thought that, oh, maybe Flamme is suppressing her mana, but I didn't really think about it much. I was way more confused than, like, I was like, okay, why did she say that? Like, you can literally see how her mana is lesser. That's how they trick, like, that's how Flamme tricks you. And that is why Flamme stopped immediately. She realized, like, wait a minute, she actually realized I was strong. And Flamme looks behind, and like, it's crazy to think that if Frieren probably didn't say this to Flamme, Flamme probably would have left. That's probably what would have happened. Just because Frieren said this, she stopped and she looked at her and she's like, okay. She's like, what makes you, like, like, say that I'm stronger? Okay, wait a minute. What does Frieren say? Just a minute. Where's the part where, okay, wait a minute. Okay, here we go. What makes you say that? Just a feeling. Right. just like what Himmel said before. Not before, but after this. Okay, so yeah, and that obviously intrigued Flamme. Flamme took Frieren and, like, left the village. And I still didn't realize, like, even at this point of time, I didn't realize that Flamme was actually hiding her power. So I was still a little bit confused, but I was like, okay, let's move on, Yeah. So while they're moving forward, Flamme is like, oh, we're being pursued. So all these demons come in, and Flamme is like, oh, yeah, like, any chance that you would let me go if I, like, leave this girl over here? And they're like, we don't care about your life. We're just ordered to kill the girl. So if you try to stop us, we'll kill you. Leave the girl and go, or something like that, they say. And Flamme is like drops Frieren down. And she says that, like, you see, Frieren, this is what is the problem with demons. They're overconfident. They're like, like, they're prideful. Here we go. I know the absolute confidence that they have in magics that they have studied. In other words, they're stupidly proud and overconfident. And she one-shots them immediately. And there you go. And this is where it starts registering to me. Like, this is like, oh, so she has been suppressing her power. So yeah, like Flamme said, Frieren, unlike you, they judged me a weakling. And that is why this happened, Though they were exceptional mages, their overconfidence cost them their lives. Yeah, you hid your strength by controlling how much mana you release. And now we can see her true potential. And she's like, that's right. Deceive and kill your enemies by allowing them to miscalculate your strength. And that is how it's a cowardly and unfair way to fight that makes a mockery of magic. But gotta do what you gotta do. So there you go. And yeah, and this is why it registered in my head finally. I'm like, oh, so that's what was going on. That is why Frieren said that, oh, you're stronger than me. Because she actually is. She was just hiding her strength. Okay. Now, after that, we go back to that scene again in the first part, which we saw, where Frieren was asking, isn't that unfair? But Flamme is like, it's fine, everything is fair in this situation because they literally use their words to deceive us, and I'm ready to take the dishonor upon me if I'm able to kill the demons. And yeah, and then she's like, from here onwards, forever, you will be suppressing your mana, 1/10 of your power. And yeah, and Frieren starts her training. And as we get to know later, for thousands of years, she has been doing this. And then we move to Aura again, and we get to know that Lugner is dead, and Aura's just saying all the stuff, she obviously she's pretty confident that she's stronger because she literally sees Frieren's magic. She doesn't know that Aura has been suppressing her magic, so she's like, I can win. And yeah, she's pridefully saying that, oh, you think you can win against me, this scale you see, all that stuff. Alright, and here again a little bit a flashback again where Frieren asks a question to Flamme that why don't the demons do the same? And Flamme answers, Flamme is like, I thought that, oh, maybe they don't do it because they're overconfident and that stuff. Yeah, that is part of it, but there's a bigger reason behind it, which Flamme explains, is that she kind of tells how humans show off their wealth and show how powerful they are by, dressing up, by having jewelries and stuff, because that's literally what, you can see. And that's how they show their wealth. And obviously they have to flaunt it, especially leaders, to show their power. That is why, kings and, queens, they show so much authority, power, wealth by dressing up, by all that stuff, flamboyancy, that's literally how they show how strong they are, which is true. And that is how humans do it. But demons do it like this. They show off their mana, they show, and that is why it is unthinkable for a demon to suppress their mana. They cannot do it, or they will never do it, because it's if you want to be regarded as someone important, you should flaunt off your mana. A crazy strong demon, why would they suppress their mana? Everyone will treat them like crap. They don't want that, so they flaunt their mana. They show off their mana, and the way more mana the demons have, the more the people the demons respect them and put them in certain pedestals. And yeah, that's what Flamme says. They may temporarily suppress their mana for the sake of stealth, but they're never going to keep continuing it, because who would do that? Yeah, there you go. And okay, just as humans are bound by status and wealth, demons are bound by mana. Despite their pride in an unparalleled love for magic, they cannot control their mana because they never did that. For them, controlling their mana, why would anyone do that? That's why they cannot do it. They literally don't want to do it, or they would never do it. For them, it's unthinkable. And that's why Lugner got triggered so much after realizing what Frieren and Frieren does. And this kind of makes me think, which this whole parallel that she draws between wealth and mana. For humans, wealth is something similar to what is for mana for demons. It's like a comparison. So people like Flamme, who suppress their crazy amount of mana, obviously she's doing this to trick the demons and kill them. But it's making me think, if you have to draw this parallel and if you have to compare wealth and mana to it, I would like to say that what Flamme and Frieren are doing is like people who have a lot of money, obviously, rich people, but still they don't show off their wealth, and they live frugally, has a minimalistic way of living, doesn't spend too much or flaunt their money. That is literally what, if you compare it, that's literally what this is. They have vast amount of mana, but they're suppressing it. Obviously in this situation they're doing it to kill the demons, but if you take that out, what they're doing in that sense is like, like how rich people who are obviously very rich, but still they don't flaunt their money, or like they don't, like show off or anything like that. Like people like them, that's what, like Flamme and Frieren are doing. They have a lot, but they're suppressing it. I don't know. It's like that seemed like an appropriate comparison to this. Anyways, so right then after that, a lot of time goes by. Like Flamme is like quite old, and Frieren, is like has done a lot of training. She's been suppressing Aman a lot. So Flamme is like, good job. Like from here onwards, keep doing this. Never ever, like try to show off your like thing. Keep deceiving the demons. Live in obscurity unless until you can defeat the demon lord. And she kind of says that, like when I, like die in front of my grave, like make like a flower bed. Like I love flowers. Like a spell which can make flowers. Like I saw that and I loved. I started loving magic. And oh, there's another thing she asks her. She's like, do you like magic? And she says, kind of. And Lam is like, oh, you said something different in the beginning. Like the first time she asked, she was like, yeah, I like magic. Where's that part? Somewhat, I suppose. Long ago, you once confidently answered that you loved magic. That was only 50 years ago. You're right. Okay, and it's another interesting thing that Flamme says, that in the end, all I could do was teach you how to fight. I wasn't able to teach you anything else. Which obviously, we can understand that, because from that point onwards, when Frieren starts, like traveling with the heroes, she little by little she learns other emotions, because at the beginning she was so foreign to the concept of death and everything. Like, so we can see that as Flamme had like I guess you could say a little regret that she wasn't able to teach her anything other than fighting. But the other people who met her from that point onwards, Himmel, Heiter, and Eisen, they taught her human qualities and, like stuff like that. And you can see that, like after that, like Flamme dies, and she keeps training, she keeps like practicing, and she lives like a very, like, like a very frugal life, like in the forest, picking berries, like, like and stuff. And you can see like there's like a little village beside, like her. And little by little, as time goes on and on, you can see that little village transforms to like a big, like castle, like not castle, but like a big, like fort kind of, like, thing. While Frieren keeps practicing and keeps training, and like she never, like, like she keeps doing it for probably like thousands of years. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure like the people who lived in that place, they definitely knew that some like a long-lived elf lived here, because when Himmel and everyone else comes here, they literally were saying like, I've heard there's a long-lived mage in these woods. So everyone knew it. I wonder what the people thought, those guys who lived in that place. They were like, oh, there's like an elf, like, who lived in that forest. I'm pretty sure like the little kids probably like made rumors about like someone living in the woods and they're going to eat you or something. I'm sure like all that stuff happened in that place. But obviously, like, like we know like it was just Frieren living there. So Himmel and their group comes in, and they look at Frieren, and Frieren's like, what are you guys doing here? Like, like, go away, I don't have any plans to talk to you. And like Eisen is like, Heiter, how strong is she? And Heiter's like, oh, she's like just 1/3 of me. I think that's what he says, like 1/3. She has 1/3 of mana that I have. It's not bad. And Frieren's like, yeah, you think so? You're quite cocky, aren't you? Anyways, and she's like, yeah, if you like, I'm that weak, so you would have no, like, like you have nothing to talk about with me, so you can leave, please. But Himmel is like, no, like, I'm sure you're stronger than all of us here. And it's like, why do you say so? Just something, like something I felt, just a feeling. Just what Frieren told Flamme at the beginning, Okay, now then, quick fast forward. Okay, I'm going to pause here and I'm going to see what adventures they went through. The first scene we get to see, this happened very quickly, so I'm going to pause and see. First, we get to see the heroes fighting a dragon, a red dragon. Kind of reminds me of that dragon that Stark fought. And then next is that guy, that big demon which was sealed. They fought them. Then Aura. Oh, the next scene. Oh, Himmel is the one who dealt the final blow to Aura. Ah. And then they're just standing in front of the Demon Lord's castle. And bam, that is it. I think there's nothing else. There you go, that is it. And then yeah, we're back to the present again, and Aura is pretty cocky. She's like Azeriuse takes out her scale, and both Frieren and Aura's thing goes up, and like she's like little by little like moving forward towards Frieren as those two things come down, and you can see obviously her mana is way more now. It's like the scale is tilting towards that direction. Seeing that, she's so confident, she's like walking towards Frieren. And she's like, yeah, you might be an exceptional mage, but how long might you have been training? 100 years or so? I've been alive for 500 years. So yeah, I'm way better than you. I have so much more strength, so much more mana than you. I can easily take care of it. So she's the one who comes in front of her. And here is where Frieren, like as she goes closer to her, she sees like something's happened to the skin. She's like, what the hell is going on? Why is the scale wobbly? And like it's still not entering her head as she's realizing. And Frieren is like, thank God you're the one who came in front of me. It would have been a little bit more difficult, to fight you if you let your people, your puppets, come and try to attack me. You were so confident that I'm so much weaker than you that you yourself came in front of me. Because obviously, like if she let the puppets come, Frieren would have to show her actual power. Aura would realize the difference in their strength. Aura would probably try to run. But the fact that she's the one who came sealed the deal immediately. Frieren is close enough that she can deal the final blow now. And that's what she said. Like you're the one who came in front of me, thank God. It'll save me some time. And then she's like, you know what? You know a secret? There's a secret I've been keeping from you. I've been suppressing my mana. Like I said, at the beginning, Aura was like, what? Suppressing mana? What is that? That doesn't make sense. Why would you do that? So obviously this whole part was so crazy. Like what they say, the 10 stages of denial or something, the 10 stages of grief. Like at first denial and that. I feel like she went through all of that stages. At first she was in denial. She's like, what is she talking about? Suppressing mana? Why would she even do that? Because for demons, it's such a foreign concept. It goes against their way of living. So she's like, yeah, suppressing mana? You must be joking, you must be, it's a trick. You're trying to trick me. Like, in her head, she's thinking it's a trick. But she's looking at the scale and she's like, the scale is pretty wobbly. It's kind of tilting towards the other direction. What's going on? So is she actually telling the truth? So it takes a while for her to register that, and little by little, I love the face she makes here. Little by little, it starts crunching up her face, and she starts sweating. And she's like it's impossible. I cannot see. Literally, your mana is so less. And she's like, oh, that's because I spent most of my life suppressing my mana. And she's like, you know what? My master was correct. You demons look at the other people's mana. The fact that you you try to look at my mana and judge that how strong I am, and you're like, oh, looking at your mana is so smooth that it doesn't seem like you're suppressing it, because it kind of makes sense. She made it so smooth even though she's suppressing it because she's been training for so long. If she very amateurishly tried to suppress her mana, probably her mana would be very unstable, and they could immediately realize that, oh, the mana is unstable, they might be trying to suppress it, but the fact that her mana was so smooth and so calm tricked her. She thought that it is so smooth, so definitely she's not suppressing it. That is why it took for her a while to realize. When she realized that she has actually been training for so long that she's made the process so smooth, it dawns on her. And she says, like, Frieren is like, I've spent most of my life suppressing my mana. The state has become natural to me. There you go. Even while sleeping, she probably suppresses her mana. That's how, like, easy it is for her now. And here's where her face drops and she starts sweating. She's like, are you stupid? Why would you do something so pointless? She's still in denial. She's like, yeah, what is she saying? She's definitely trying to trick me. And Frieren's like, yeah, you're right, it's stupid. But it lets me beat your kind, so there you go. It's a necessary sacrifice I have to make. And this is where her face is scrunched up. And she kind of, like this, like, she's like, this is absurd. I'm a great demon who has lived over 500 years. And Frieren's like, Aura, the person standing before you has been alive for way more than 500 years. More than 1,000 years I've been alive, and I've been training from that point onwards. And you can see her whole power envelop Aura and everyone else. It's at least like a big chunk of the place being enveloped by her bond. And yeah, this is where Aura realized that she messed up. And her eyes goes from, her pupil dilates so much. The scale drops like that. You know what would have been funnier if the scale actually broke or something. And it broke and fell down. But that didn't happen. Yeah, and here, as Flamme told her, just as demons deceive humankind with words, you use your mana to deceive demons. Oh, at this part, oh god, she just turns around, and feels like, Aura, unalive yourself. The scale drops, and Aura is like, what the hell? Like, this is impossible. Yeah. How could I? And that is it. Crazy episode. That was fantastic. Probably the best, definitely the best episode out of all these episodes. That was amazing. And Frieren in the end, her the way she just turned around, that part is my favorite part. The way she turned around and said that to her, good god. Those thug life moments on YouTube. Oh god, it's one of those. God, good lord. Alright, that is it. That is my reaction to episode number 10 of Sousou no Frieren. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed, comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know, I'll check them out. And that is it. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Sousou no Frieren. Until then, goodbye, and have a nice day.